I would like to discuss the nature of panic.
Specifically, your panic this evening?
And of many, many other panics. And of cowardice. And failure.
Well, you've had a very long night.
Don't stop me now. What I said before goes both ways. I don't want to merely be someone working with you. I want you to know me. Tonight, I went into Mrs. Sinclair's room. Her pains were intensifying. I put on my benign professional face and started my there, everything's fine speech. And suddenly that pathetic child woman started to clutch at me, sobbing and begging me to help her. I wanted to run. All of a sudden, I was back in Peru. The Indians staring at me. The mothers holding their quiet children, wanting to give their children life, but not being able to give it to them. I had life. I had all the life of the good food I ate as a child, and the warm home I came from. I had all the life that I held in my hands that came from my training as a doctor. That's what they wanted. My life for themselves. It terrified me. I walked among them in constant terror.
You can't judge yourself like that. I mean, how much of yourself can you give?
And him. Great Dr. Vincent Markham. Peru's shining answer to the Dr. Schweitzer tradition. If they wanted tears with their morphine, why, they received it. Sob with us, they cried. Bleed with us. Pray with us. Sleep with us on our soiled mats. Nothing was too self-abasing for the holy Dr. Markham to do.
And what about you? What did you do about the filth and the vermin?
Oh, I tried, Michael. I tried. I learned their dialect. I learned to eat their foods. I read their history. But that wasn't what they wanted. Growing up in Peyton Place didn't prepare me for what they wanted. In the tradition of Dr. Robert Morton, I tried for perfection. I failed at that. In the tradition of Dr. Vincent Markham, I tried to be a saint. I failed at that. And then he wanted me to be a woman.
Who?
Why, my husband, Dr. Vincent Markham. I failed at that, too.
Allison. Hi. Oh, I was just dozing off. Everything all right? Everything's fine. Good. Kim is upstairs asleep. I looked in on her a few minutes ago.
Good.
Did you have a nice evening?
Oh, very nice, thank you.
How was your evening? Any problems with Kim?
Oh, no. But she's very resourceful.
I hope she didn't do anything too outrageous.
Oh, no. I didn't get on so well at the beginning of the evening. Couldn't get her to finish her dinner, so I stuffed myself with chocolate cake to get even with her. Once I knew what the game was going to be, I caught on very quickly. It's called Fool the Babysitter. We watched each other like a couple of hawks all evening, while the other wasn't looking, of course.
I wouldn't think you got much homework done.
No, I didn't, but I learned to play the game pretty well. There was only once she caught me off guard.
What happened?
Well, this sounds worse than it actually was. Kim pretended she was going to run away.
She pretended?
I think she was testing me to see what I would do.
Well, what did you do?
Well, I accepted the challenge. I opened the front door with quite a flourish, and I said she'd best be on her way, and I said goodbye to her.
Oh, that was taking quite a chance, wasn't it?
Well, I knew I was stronger than Kim, and anyway, I could run faster. I felt she shouldn't get away with it.
What was your next move?
I stuck my head out the door, and I sort of shivered. And I said she better take a sweater if she planned on getting very far.
What did Kim do?
Nothing. I came back here, and I sat down, and I waited. And she came back inside.
I think you did very well. Didn't she, David?
She certainly did. I'm impressed.
Well, I wasn't at all sure I'd get away with it. It was a calculated risk, and perhaps I shouldn't have taken it.
But you did. And I think it deserves a bonus, don't you, David?
Certainly do.
Oh, that's too...
You've earned it. Now, it's getting late. I better get you home.
Yes. Oh,
Thank you, Allison.
thank you.
Good night, dear.
Good night. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. When I was putting Kim to bed, she said good night.
She actually said good night?
Very politely. First to the doll, then to the curtains, then to the floor. I'm afraid she won that round. Good night.
Good night.
So you ate all that cake, eh?
I think Kim was dying to eat it. She just didn't want to give me the satisfaction.
How did you learn to handle children with no brothers and sisters?
Perhaps being an only child gave me a sort of edge. Sort of, insight into the enemy tactics.
Well, I wouldn't know. I was the only boy in a family of 6. That didn't give me an edge, I'll tell you.
No, I can see where it wouldn't. But you seem to have survived all right.
Never judge by appearances. Strange, you know. I sense a resemblance between you and Kim. A kind of quality it's hard to pin down. I think you're both changeling children. Unpredictables.
No, you're wrong. We're both predictable. It's just that we both want our own way. And, we both live in our own little worlds.
A dream world?
Perhaps.
I guess Kim's deafness is her reason. What's yours?
Doesn't look like there's anybody home.
Well, do you have your key?
Thank you for letting me help take care of Kim. Anytime you need somebody, I'll be glad to come.
Well, I'm not sure how often we'll be going out, Allison, but we'll think of you when we do.
Hello?
Hello there.
Mr. Schuster, these are my parents.
How do you do? How do you do? I hope I didn't bring her home too late.
Of course not. We've been reading about you in the Clarion, Mr. Schuster, and we want to wish you luck.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for letting Allison babysit for us on your first night home. Well, good night. And good night, Allison.
Good night. Thank you.
Seems quite nice. Younger than I thought he'd be.
Yes, he is nice. But he's unpredictable. I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired. I didn't realize babysitting could be such a challenge.
They never explain themselves. You'll get used to that. have seen your face the way you scowled at Mr. Schuster. The perfect Victorian father.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
Are you being impertinent?
Am I being impertinent because I tell you I'm getting tired of your hounding and harassing?
You better be careful.
Why are you assuming that if you take me into your office, you'll forfeit other people's respect?
That's a very difficult and perceptive question, and a very challenging one.
I don't think you have time to get yourself involved with Schuster. Let's let it rest for a while. We'll talk about it some other time.
Are you postponing the question or dismissing it?